So here we go, another adventure, another traipse through the supermarkets. I've got three in mind. The first one I have a club card for, and I might get something at really good value. So we're going to stop there. The goal is £25 max is what we're going to spend. I've got £25 in cash, £25 in money. Again, last time I've done this, no one was using money, so hopefully they do still accept cash. We'll wait and see. But I'm going to have a little look, see what I can find. It's maybe something a bit different. I would like to find something at 46% ABV, maybe an age statement, but I'm just looking for a bit of quality for the price. £25 max. Let's see what we can see if there's any deals to be had. If we don't find something in the first place, we'll walk around and we'll get to the next two. So we've got three in total that I want to try out. So stay with me, stay tuned, and let's see what we can find, and we'll get this open and we'll get it reviewed. So we're back, been shopping, been in a couple of supermarkets, and I've been able to find a whiskey for £25 or less. You might not believe me, but I'm going to show you this. In the UK, this is £2. I have spent less than £20 for a whiskey. Something that I've not tried, but it sounds pretty interesting. I did find it for £18. As you can see, it's not here. I'm just kind of building up the suspense for this. So £18. It's not a single malt, but it's a blended malt. It is very interesting. There is a big name behind it. So I really don't know what to expect. Something that I have seen, I've always bypassed, but when you start looking for something and you've got a price you don't want to go over, there were certain things there that I did see, but I just decided I went to Tesco first. As you can see here with all the prices that I've put in, took this little video whilst I was in there. There were certain things shouting out at me I thought I would go, but I just decided to kind of go somewhere else just in case there was something a little bit better or that kind of caught my eye. So I went to Waitrose, which was a little drive away, and I found this Shackleton blended malt. Don't know much about it. I have seen it quite a lot. I have bypassed it. I do think David in the comments did say maybe pick this up, and it was £18. I found it for £18. I have the receipt here to prove it, and I've got my wee £2 change. So I'm quite happy. As you can see, it's not open, but we're going to get this in the glass, get this reviewed, and try and take you through some of the history of why this is called Shackleton blended malt. So one of the things about it is, first of all, people that made it is White Mackay, but the master blender who has blended all this together to give us what is in this bottle was Richard Pattison of Dalmore, most famously known for most charismatic guy in whiskey, I would say. So it's Richard Pattison is the guy that's made this. Shackleton whiskey though, if we go on to that, whilst I'm talking, I'll pour this in the glass to try and let it breathe for a little bit, see if we can get any noise. So pour this in the glass. A nice wee dram. So Shackleton whiskey, Ernest Shackleton was an explorer. He's one of the first guys that wanted to get to the South Pole. He went on a boat in 1907 called Nimrod, and in 1909 he had to turn back, but at that point in time he was the furthest man to go towards the South Pole. Antarctica was the furthest he'd ever went was Sir Ernest Shackleton. He did have a favourite whiskey, and his favourite whiskey, he ordered 25 cases of McKinley's rare old Highland malt. 25 cases for when he went exploring to keep the spirits high. He was very charismatic, he was a leader, and this is what got them through. But I found a little thing here that I've written down. Where is it? So in 2007 there were 3 cases, perfect condition of the McKinley's the McKinley's rare old malt, which were found at a base in the Cape Royds base camp at the foot of that. So it's thawed out slightly, and explorers who were there at Shackleton's old base camp found these, and they got sent to New Zealand, I think it was, to thaw out and be part of a history. So Richard Pattison has now tried to explore that whiskey and make it close enough to see what Ernest Shackleton was drinking. So this is kind of depths, a bit of the past. So 100 years later, they've been able to find untouched whiskey from 1907, which is absolutely unbelievable. 3 untouched cases. Ernest Shackleton, he was Irish, he was just an explorer, just one of the most famous. He did at one point, I think it was in 2000 and, let me see, no, 1914. Sorry, in 1914, he went for another trip to the Antarctica. They did get stuck, the boat got frozen. He has went out on a small boat, went 720 nautical miles to get a recovery team to come back and save 5 men that were on that ship, and he did. It's went down as one of the greatest life-saving moments in kind of history for that, which is really, really cool. To find a little bit more though, I could not find anything on this whiskey which would tell me what was in this bottle. There was nothing to tell me what it is. All we know is it's Highland, it's 40% ABV, it's definitely coloured, and it is definitely filtered because it's at 40%. So the only thing that I was able to find is it has been aged in ex-bourbon American white oak and also finished in Spanish sherry. Age of it is 5 to 10 years that I was able to see, but I can't confirm. Excuse me. So a lot to it. It's a nice looking bottle. It is quite eye-catching. I think there's enough there. It's obviously going way back in time and history for something like this. And Richard Patterson's taken it on, so he's probably put a lot of time and effort into this as well. But £18, is £18 about to be justifiable? Are we going to justify paying £18 for a blended malt, 40% ABV, and the only thing we know is the cask makeup? We don't know what's in there. If it's White and Mackay, could we be really brave and say there's Dalmore in there, there's Fettercairn in there, there's Jura in there? What can we say? But we'll find out. So I'm going to nose it just now. I'm going to try it and see exactly how this tastes. So let's get this on the nose first of all. It's quite fresh, quite toffee, appley. It's like a baked apple. Slight, tiny bit of funk to it, but appley, baked apples, and more your kind of white fruits to it. I'm going to put that probably down to the white American oak, that kind of a bit more prominent. But it's nice on the nose. It's nice and fresh, nice and clean. It's nothing really kind of tripping you up straight away. Let's get this in the palate. So on the nose, it's fresh, white fruits, baked apples, bit of toffee. See what this tastes like. Slanger, folks. Okay, interesting. Didn't expect that much of a spice hit to it for 40%. Would I say that's 40% if I had that blind? No, I would say that's higher. It's still got a little bit of malt tinge to it. It's got like digestive biscuit note maybe, with maybe a what would you say, like a ginger biscuit, a ginger snap. A little bit of cinnamon there, that spice hits at the end. The funk's not really there. It's kind of more pear, apple, but wee tiny bit of funk. It's interesting, for sure. I would really like to know what the makeup is. Really be quite intrigued. I think the blending process where it's done and bottled is Invergordon. I think I've seen something about Invergordon in there. I could be wrong. But that's actually quite nice. I think I've done really, really well for... I've got change of £20. Literally, it was on special. Yes, I need to give it its due. It was on special. But even when it's not, I do think it kind of floats around. I think 35 is a kind of top number. That's like paying a lot for it. But you always find it in the 20s. there was a thing I did see, because it was an Explorer and Richard Patterson and all this, it was, or drink it with a block of ice, but I think that's just kind of more going to the story of sailing through Antarctic, South Pole and all these things. I am just going to keep it neat. I'm not going to add any water because it is at 40%. I don't feel it needs anything. There's nothing aggressive on the palate. It is just a clean whiskey, really fresh on the nose. Those toffee, kind of more baked apples, not a full citrus hit, but then on the palate, that big kind of spice at the end. So I think it shows you the bourbon cask, then it shows you the sherry. It's like split. You know, it's got two parts to it. It's nice. It's not unbelievably complex. It's one that you would pour. You could mix this as well. I think this would do well in kind of highballs and other things like whiskey and ginger ale and stuff like that. I think it would be fine with this. But it's got, what would I say? So I've got something. There's a little reminiscence of oil paints. You know, if you were painting and back at school and you've got it on the wee pad and you've got all that. I just got that there. There was something, and that usually reminds me of Jura. But obviously I'm just putting two and two together. I'm probably getting 5 because Richard Patterson and the White Mackay thing. I've enjoyed it. 40%. This is a great start to the night. If you're having a wee whiskey night, first in the glass, get the palate going, a little bit excited, giving it that wee mix of bourbon and sherry, then move on to your 46s and up the ladder and finish on your peat, however you drink your whiskey, you know. But I'm happy. £18. I've got £2 change. I could have bought myself a wee snack, but I didn't. I'll keep that for maybe building up for more change to do another kind of video. But under £20, under £25, I found this. It's not a single malt, it's blended malt. I'll take it. I'm happy. I feel that I've done well. So last thing here I would like to say today is thank you so much everyone for following, liking, sharing, all these things. I've finally hit the 500 mark, and thank you so much for everyone that's followed this little hobby of mine. I don't ever expect it to blow up and be absolutely millions of people, but for everyone that follows and comments, it's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. So I thought I'd try and go to a little bit more of obtainable whiskey. If you like these types of video, please let me know. I will try and do a little bit more of them if I can. Just leave little comments if there's any whiskey you'd like me to review. If I get my hands on it, I will do it. If it's cheap enough as well, I'll get it, because I don't want to do high end all the time, and we can't all try these things. But thank you so much, and I raise a glass to all the followers, everyone that comments, everyone that likes, everyone that passes through, everyone that's followed my journey. Thank you so much, and slange to you all. I'm going to go and sit back and enjoy this a little bit more and just take it all in. As always, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whisky. Join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange.